Can you summarize that run? We'll get into the SWAC and the Hall of Fame in a second. Can you summarize that run that y'all made in 1990? Because that Super Bowl was here in Pasadena, correct? Was that no? That was
Super Bowl was in Tampa.
Tampa.
Yeah. It was at the Sombrero.
Sombrero, yeah, sure was.
We're talking old school. It was at the Sombrero.
Yeah. How would you?
That run was, we started off 10-0. You know, we were just unstoppable. And I think the last 6 games was probably the most important of that season, because we went 3-3. And I think we needed that 3-3. You know, because we were 10-0. We were killing it. And they couldn't stop us. LT was just out of control. We even played, I think he had gotten hurt at one point during the season. We were still rolling. And I think the 3-3 humbled all of us, including the coaches. And it made Belichick go off into his bag. It made Parcells look at that offense and realize, okay, this is the kind of offense I want. I have Hostetler now. Phil Simms had just gone down.
Yeah.
Hostetler comes in. So they changed the offensive game plan as well. And it became even more blue collar, even more New York Giant. You know what I'm saying? It was more lunch pail. We weren't trying to be cute. We just coming out there hitting people in the mouth. That was it. You know, and that's what we needed in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, because I remember it was so vanilla. You know, throw the ball to Mark Bavaro. You know, hand it off.
Hand it off to Hampton. Hand it off to OJ. You know,
Maurice.
We had one of the fastest guys in the league, and we got him running sidelines. We got Baker running sideline routes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we
did a touchdown, mate. Yeah.
We kept it close to the vest. But then when we went to the playoffs, all of a sudden, Chicago Bears, man, we blew them out like 30-3, 38-3. We're going up top. You know, the defense is back. Tom Zach is about to have a heart attack.
Tom Zach.
Yeah, we were killing those. He didn't even belong in that stadium. He did not belong in the stadium that day. He was totally overwhelmed. You know, then the next game was the game. It was the 49ers. You know, we went up there. They had beaten us early that season.
Get back. You got your get back.
Football. I think the score was like 7-3. It just let you know how good their defense was.
Yeah.
So this wasn't just about, we knew it wasn't going to be any high score. We had 2 defenses that were very good.
Sure.
And Ronnie Lott, you know, Carlton Williamson, Tina Turner, Fred Dean, you know.
Yeah.
Those guys were studs, man. And they were together. They've been together a long time. You know, I think they had 3. Did they have 3 in the 80s?
Yeah, 3.
So there you go. We had to stop them. They considered that team. They considered that team one of the best teams. They tried to say one of the best teams in NFL history. That's what they tried to say. Because Jerry was on that squad.
Yeah, John Taylor
was on that squad. Robert Craig was on that squad.
Tom Rathman.
Was Russ Francis on that squad?
I can't recall.
You had some. We had the whole game was full of big names.
Wow.
And they held us to 5 field goals, but it was 1 too many. So that's how we ended up in Tampa.
DB's on the line, the great co-host DB. What's up, DB?
How you gentlemen doing? How you doing, sir? Oh, legend.
Doing fine, sir. Who is this?
This DB. He captured.
I like your initials.
Right on. Likewise. I'm sitting here looking at you, and I'm like, he looks like a combination of Oscar Robertson and Charles Oakley.
Oh yeah, I get the Oakley all the time. Yeah, yeah. Oscar's a bit bigger than me. What's Oscar? About
6'4", maybe 6'5". Yeah,
6'5". Oscar was the man.
Yeah. So it's February 1st, and I just wanted to switch reels just for a second. It's Black History Month.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I wanted you to kind of tell us what Black History Month means to you.
Black History Month means to me is just the way I try and live my life.
Mm.
You know, it's about representing your people. You know, it's about righting your wrongs. You know, it's about definitely not being perfect, and it's about having empathy for others. You know, the one reason I think that we're in this position we're in now is because, and it's no secret, people have said it way before me, and they said it way before the people that we just recently say it. You know, just trying not to be silent with everything that you know is bullshit.
Mm.
You know,
Right.
and that's not just white people. That's black people as well. You know, we became complacent. We became scared. You know, uh, we were complicit in the fact that we did nothing. And so I have tried to be that person that tried to do something. You know, I was a union rep with the Cowboys, locker room lawyer, I guess. You know, and those kind of things, which has always been the problem. Trust me, I'm no different from a lot of guys that have done this. It affects your career, and you have to be prepared for it to affect your career. That has always been the way that I was raised. My parents knew that if you sacrifice something, that you're going to have to pay. That's why it's a sacrifice. And so I was brought up with people that thought like that. You know, my dad was a big old dude. He didn't like taking crap from nobody. He didn't care what color you were. And I used to watch him. I tell people all the time, I used to watch him go out and so-called collect money because he was an independent businessman. He was legit now, but he had to go collect his money. You know, when the invoice is out there, he got to go get his money. And he was one of the few people I know where whoever the color was, if you show respect and demand respect, you will get respect. And that's the way my pops carried himself. So to me, that's what I saw him as a black man, black strength. To me, that is black history.
Right. Great answer, man. Thanks for sharing that. And what was your take on Colin Kaepernick's stance? And also, have you ever thought about or did you boycott the NFL for any period of time?
I did not boycott. We did not call for that. Once again, union rep, we called for the walkout, for the strike in '87. I was indoctrinated to football politics in '82 because that was also a strike that I went through. I went through 2 strikes.
Wow.
So you start to learn about the politics of football, you know, and so, you know, those are things that we just had to deal with. My only my more rebellious aspect of playing was, first of all, people can see, when they first see you, they can tell what you're about. And they can tell if they can BS you or not. So depending on how you carry yourself, they will already know if they're going to have an issue with you or not. And I would imagine I was one of those guys in the locker room that was like that. And I started hanging with other guys in the locker room that was also like that. I always bring up my boy Ron Springs. He was Dorsett's fullback, but he was both of our buddies, and I ended up giving a kidney to him a few years ago. It was down 2007, a long time ago. And so, you know, those are the guys that influenced me even further because I already came in with that HBCU attitude of, you know, you will not disrespect, you know, the legacy that I'm trying to carry on. And so you couple that, you know, with the fact that, you know, everything got so political and things of that nature. My rebellious acts came in the fact that I had the balls to hold out in contract negotiations. I was never afraid to match wits with Gil Brandt or Tex Ram or whatever coaches tried to fool me into signing contracts that were not worth my talent. And so it was a systemic thing that we had to fight against. And if they thought you were dumb enough to fall for the okie doke, they would try you. And, you know, once you show them that that's not the case, then they realize the other aspect of it is this is a guy that we are not going to make things easy for. You see? they know negotiations are going to be tough. So they're like, hey, there's no free agency, so we have the upper hand. And that you pretty much know how that's going to turn out.
Mm-hmm. If the premier high school players right now started choosing HBCUs over the predominantly white colleges, what would their chances be? Like, what kind of exposure would they get in terms of like the scouts and whatnot? What are their chances of getting into the league?
Oh, getting into the league wouldn't be a problem. It depends on how you would get in. You certainly wouldn't be drafted as high as you would going to what they call Power 5 school. I couldn't see that. You would get in. You may get drafted mid-round, even if you were amazing. Jerry Rice came out. They understood what he was all about. And Mississippi Valley was not winning a lot of games, but Jerry was going off with he and Willie Satellite Totten. But when you really take a look at the situation, going to an HBCU would be a sacrifice. It would be a statement that you would have to be making. And you would have to know what you're doing. You know, don't be naive about it. If no top high school player would be directed or consulted to go to an HBCU. His best friend, his mom, his dad, they would say, man, you shouldn't go there. They would tell you that because they know that that would be a big hit to you financially in the draft. Now, that doesn't mean that when you get in the league, you're going to make it up. Like I had to do as a free agent, like Michael Downs had to do as a free agent. You can make it up, but that hole is going to be a little deeper. So you have to be prepared for what you're sacrificing.